hot summer. So we are back putting books in little free libraries. This was the first ever video I did on this channel. I'm really excited to be doing it again. We're at the first one here. It's pretty interesting. It's like a little bench. I'm avoiding touching it too much because we're literally in like the 100-degree+ Texas heat right now, but it's kind of cute. The first books I'm going to be putting in this one are Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson and Rhapsodic. Mistborn, one of my favorite books of all time. 5 stars. Excellent fantasy book. Brandon Sanderson, people call him the GOAT. Very popular fantasy author. This book is kind of like a blend of Attack on Titan meets Star Wars, but it's not set in space or anything like that. There's a very unique, interesting magic system called allomancy where they use metals to like push and pull themselves off. They're fighting against this big old empire. It's awesome. Check it out. Rhapsodic. So this is the book that I originally bought at Half Price Books, and then when we went back later, I found the whole series, but it's in a completely different cover design. So I have 2 copies of the first book, and even though I like this version of the cover more, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to somebody else because I already have the full series. I don't really need a second copy. So even though this one looks cooler to me, somebody else can enjoy it. Wow, I've never seen a little free library like this. I already see a Hunger Games book, but I'm not touching it because there's a spider web and I can't handle that. I'm gonna put my books over here. This looks like there's kind of more adult books over in this little bucket right here. So I'm gonna put my books, they're not gonna fit there. I'm gonna put them here in the other bucket. Goodbye books. Somebody read Mistborn. Somebody out there read it. I'm already sweating, and it's been 5 minutes. Anthony has literally been obsessed with Creed.
I don't know the words actually.
Ever since they announced
They're coming back, guys.
they were coming back together.
They're performing on a cruise ship, and I don't know if that's like a one-time thing or they're just gonna stick together after that. I don't know.
Yeah, so we've been having to listen to a lot of Creed lately.
It's a scan, will you stay?
So here I have 3 books. These were originally going to be in a summer book reading vlog that I ended up scrapping because I literally didn't like any of the books. And this one is a very popular one, mind you, and it wasn't for me. But you know what? What my DNF or my 1-star or 2-star might be somebody's 5-star. So I hope somebody else enjoys these because I didn't. The Summer of Broken Rules, My Summer Darlings, and Places We've Never Been. This is such a cool little free library. Look at the license plates on it. How cute. I see The Name of the Wind. I started reading this and then I stopped, not because I wasn't into it. I kind of wasn't in the mood to commit to a long fantasy book, but I definitely want to try reading that one again. This one has some interesting stuff. What is this? The Midnight Front? Every war has secret weapons. Whoa. World War I Nazi sorcerers? What? It's like a fantasy book about World War II. That sounds fun. You know what? I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. It looks like there's the first and second book here. Why not? So for this next stop, I have Frankenstein and Caraval. This Caraval copy does not have a cover on it. I remember really enjoying this book. It wasn't like a 5-star or anything, but it was still really, really fun. I love the setting of it. It takes place in this like carnival, kind of magician type setting. You don't really know what's real, what's not real. It was just a really fun time. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So I actually read this book in high school. I don't remember it too much, but we recently watched Young Frankenstein on our other channel. We did a reaction for it, and it kind of got me thinking about Frankenstein again. Mary Shelley, she's a legend. She basically pioneered the science fiction genre, and one day I will read Frankenstein again, but I found this really cool copy at Half Price Books, and I thought it'd be fun to share it with somebody else. This one was kind of interesting because it was in somebody's driveway, which I have not seen before. I'm not 100% sure if I would actually like people like walking actually into the driveway. You know, like it's one thing if it's on the street, but I don't know. I guess they don't care. So for this next stop, I have 1,000 Splendid Suns and Holes. This book, 1,000 Splendid Suns, I actually meant to do in my last little free library video, but it fell out of my bag and I didn't see it until I was done. So I thought next time I do it, I will just put this one in a little free library. I read this in high school. I haven't read it since. I remember really loving it. I feel like it kind of was one of those books that stuck with me throughout my life since I read it in high school, and I'm really thankful that my teacher chose it for us to read. So I hope somebody else finds enjoyment in it. And next I have Holes. I actually never read this one before, but I do love the movie. Like, Kissing Kate Barlow is my girl, and it also has one of my favorite quotes of all time that I still say to this day.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
My husband Anthony actually read it, I think in middle school, right? He really enjoyed it. I feel like the book is probably just as good as the movie, if not better. Hopefully one day I'll read it. Oh, cute, a little bee. Wow, this one is very well organized. Okay, well, I already found a book I'm getting. Mary Jane. A lot of people talk about this book and I never read it. I think it takes place in the I think it takes place in the 70s, which I love the 1970s. So I'm definitely gonna read this one. Y'all, Memoirs of Geisha. I already own this book, but this is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. This little bee right here is really cute. There's also a book in there called The Bees. Coincidence. Mary Jane, I'm so excited. I've gotten now 3 books from this trip. For the final little free library, I have Fourth Wing and The Love Hypothesis. Cicada, shut up. So if you've been anywhere close to BookTok or BookTube or anything book related on the internet, you've heard of Fourth Wing. This book, it just blew up like crazy. I haven't seen anything like that in a very long time, like just blow up the way it did. But you know, I'm glad it did because I really enjoyed this book. It wasn't quite a 5-star, but it was a 4.5, which is very, very close. I loved it. It's literally House of the Dragon meets Hogwarts, like the school Hogwarts. So good. I love the dragon elements of it. It's an enemies to lovers romantasy, which is fantasy romance. For months, I could not find a physical copy of this. I originally read it on Kindle when I first read it, and they had the special edition out at the time with the sprayed edges, a gorgeous copy. I couldn't find it for so long, and the annoying thing is I literally saw it in one of my videos on this channel. This is not that copy, unfortunately, with the sprayed edges, but I saw it back in stock. I went ahead and picked up a copy for myself, and I picked up an extra copy as well for somebody else to put in a little free library. I hope somebody finds this and gets excited like I did when I saw them in stores. And lastly, I have The Love Hypothesis. This is kind of like an OG BookTok book, I guess, in my opinion. It's funny because this was originally a Reylo fan fiction, like a Kylo Ren, Rey from Star Wars, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Star Wars. This is about like a girl in STEM, like she's very smart, like sciencey stuff. It's a fun little contemporary romance, which I actually don't like a ton of contemporary romances, but at the time I read this, I gave it a 4 stars and I enjoyed it. I haven't read it in a very long time, but it was fun. It was cute. I liked it. Oh, you know what? It says something on here. Please feel free to take a rock or leave one. Well, that's cute. Look at the little rocks. How cute. I literally saw the Maddie Ziegler book in my last little free library video. Is this super popular or something? I'm putting this facing outward so that if somebody's driving by, they see it and it's like, oh my gosh, Fourth Wing. I'm gonna stop and get it. I'm hoping I'm doing a good deed. I don't know. Spreading romantasy. That's a good deed. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I love doing videos like this, going to little free libraries, seeing what's in them, putting books in them. If you like seeing videos like this, let me know down in the comments below and I will definitely make more if y'all want to see more. Also, check out my Patreon for in-depth book reviews, and subscribe for other book-related content. I have a lot more coming, and I'll see you in the next video.